It's $1 in the dream time. 2014 tickets are available for the purchase of $1. First come, first serve. The box office opens at 10 a.m. Irving Plaza. Let's go.
Okay, these are the times, survival my only crime. I gotta be on my grind. A lot of my homies gone. Inside of me, Lord, I know it's a lie that we gon' be fine. But mama, I'm tired of crying. Just lie to me one more time, cause it's crunch time. Cause it's crunch time. Shit real, man. It got bills, dog. It's crunch time.
I went to the best concert of my life a week ago. I be getting anxious and whatnot. Okay. The first album that I ever listened to by myself as a young adult was 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I think it was 11 when I dropped, and by the time that I was going to look it up, I was about 12. The reason why I was looking it up is because I was a kid with an iPod Touch at the time, and my dad had an iTunes library. So when he bought us iPod Touches, his iTunes library would sync up with me and my sisters. So, as a kid, I'm seeing J. Cole's name, I'm seeing Meek Mill's name, I'm seeing Kendrick's name, Jay-Z's name at the time. And there's like certain albums that I just remember. You had Good Kid, Mad City, you had Born Sinner, but then you had Forest Hills Drive. And that became not only my favorite album, but it led to J. Cole becoming my favorite rapper at the time. And there was songs like Wet Dreams or Three Adolescents or January 28th that I loved from the album. It has grown to be an album that I would then buy as a vinyl, an album that I would then buy as a tapestry.
City, I'm driving the Fords, you see me, I'm flexing on butterfly doors. Fuck it, I know I'm still young, I know I'm still dumb, but I'm trying to change it.
It just shows, it just goes to show the love that I was able to create from hip-hop, starting with those albums. It's crazy that 10 years down the line, I'm in the city, and I see some promo drop that he's going to do an anniversary show 10 years down the line and perform all those songs off of that album. I had to go. I had to go. I don't think I'm getting one. This is nuts. I think this is where the line ends. Damn. Nah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's Cliff. Yo, Keelan. Yo, bro, how long you been waiting?
Bro, I got here at like 9.
Yeah, you're at 9?
Yeah, it's mad deep.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I took a regular.
Like by the time they text, like it was already like 5 minutes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I live right across. I live in Palladium. So like, I got here at 9:07, and this is where I'm at.
Crazy.
Like that doesn't make sense.
Because it dropped.
Like how the fuck did that happen?
It's been about. It's 11:27 right now. Been here since like 9:30-ish. We lost one. Kellen already dropped out because he got fined. But we getting these dollar tickets, man. It's raining bad though. Talk a little bit about the before, because the before leads into the show. Mind you, in the last 6 months prior to the show being announced, the taste in a lot of people's mouth from J. Cole was like, all right, he just apologized off of that. Yeah, we still respect him as a rapper and whatnot, but it just felt like a big misstep as a hip hop fan, but also like as a rapper. And whether he evaluates fans' feelings regarding it, he doesn't have to care. But I'm just telling you the feelings that I was feeling at the time. Like I wasn't really bumping Cole after the apology because everything, it felt like it took the air out of a lot of the things that he was saying. I've been hearing a lot about this Inevitable podcast. This Inevitable podcast is like it's a 10 episode series, and they were dropping it every like 4 days. So from there I was like, all right, let me go check it out. I'm a big J. Cole fan, and I want to hear what it's about. The reason why he was dropping that podcast is because he's been rolling out all of his mixtapes, all of his old mixtapes that a lot of people weren't hearing. Mind you, I came to know J. Cole off of Forest Hills Drive, and although I went back to mixtapes, I never had no real fond care or memory for those mixtapes. So when he started dropping them, I was like, all right, let me go listen to this podcast. I started hearing Parks talk about it all the time. Let me go listen to it. And I fell in love again. Like, and when I mean like love, it's like as a creative, as somebody that's trying to figure out my way in the world. And the reason why I fell in love with J. Cole's music as a kid was because of the relatability factor of it. I was always that kid that like never clutched onto the streets like that, but was always close to it. You know, I was always a kid that like loved hip hop since a youngin'. So hearing his stories about wet dreams or something like that, or like talking about girls back in high school and caring about like his life and grades and not taking that route of like typically like the gangster rapper, it made it much more relatable for me. You know, and that's what I cared to listen to when I was listening to J. Cole. And this podcast was driving up a lot of these memories at that time. And not only was he talking about that, but he was talking about his college days. And I'm going through my ending on my college days. So when he's speaking about trying to get this project out for Friday Night Lights or the warm up or the come up, I had those same type of feelings, and the same type of feelings of like not wanting to sell your soul or the fear of infidelity and all these different types of feelings that's coming up in his music is also coming up in my life and in my videos. Which brings me to like the idea of like the Scared of Love video that I made not too long ago. And it's just beautiful. It's beautiful to hear it through the podcast because it's almost like validation of like, all right, I know I'm on some type of path correct because he's where he's at right now, and this is the subject matter of his stuff, and this is the subject matter of my content, and I'm just hoping to be at a pinnacle where he's at now, where he gets to tour a 10-year-old album. I encourage any creative that's listening or watching this, or any person that loves hip-hop, to go watch that podcast. And listen to it. He dropped it online, and just to get a little bit in the business facts of it, I mean, it's direct to consumer. This is not on no Spotify. It's not on no nothing like that. It's online. It's called inevitable.live or something like that, which leads me a little bit in because it's an ecosystem on the phone or the browser in which you can access those episodes. There's also a chat, there's a community, and there's your ability to purchase some things. And that's going to set up for the Forest Hills Drive concert.
Now do I roll up, get higher, or pull up, get tired?
I got you.
Do I roll up, get higher, or pull up, get tired? Yeah. Okay, I'm back on a mission to pay my tuition.
Where are you coming from?
Boston.
You came from Boston?
Yeah.
For the dollar tickets?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh,
Honestly, that's worth it. That's not that bad.
Yeah.
The gas, thank the Lord, I'm still here. No insurance, so now I'm racing home on first gear. On that morning, I shed tears, asking what I'm doing here. I should be rich, I'm sick, it's like I got influence here, but yet I'm just chilling like I'm back on the yard. My niggas say I'm the truth, and when I rap, they applaud. That was my unsigned hype, like in the back of the sauce. That's like I'm trying to get, but she just me up. I needed more, had to earn stripes, no Adidas store.
Quick, I got my ticket for $1 and a dream. I'm glad we was already going, but now I got a second ticket just in case. One, it could maybe pay for my other ticket, or I could take somebody else that's also a good fan. But I just waited 4 hours in this rain for this. I don't know, that was OD, but definitely worth it, and I'm excited. Leading up into that Forest Hills Drive concert, once he announced the concert, one night only, MSG, I already knew what it was. I told myself I'm not going to be missing these type of concerts anymore. You know, I remember that Drake and Kanye concert that they did together where they did 10 for 10 songs, hit for hit, and I told myself I'm not missing those concerts no more. Those are one-in-a-lifetime things, and I love hip-hop too much to miss those type of concerts. Another example was like the pop-out that Kendrick did. So he texted out, or whoever was working on it, probably him or Ebe, texted out a code in which whoever had that code, the inevitable code, was able to get the pre-sale to the concert. So not only was he just like continuously rewarding his fans, but he was finding a way to be direct to consumer, make money without a third party. Now, this is the first day pre-sale. I started seeing the wave of blue turn to a wave of gray. All those tickets are going. Goodbye. Every time I try to click on something, unavailable. I'm like, all right, whatever. I didn't catch no tickets, even though I was on the first ones to get there. Next day comes, pre-sale is done over. I'm like, all right. He's like, all right, there's still general's tickets left on Wednesday when it goes for sale. I woke up a little bit late. I was rushing to my final. I totally forgot. My girlfriend, Ife, she calls me and she's like, hey, are you in? I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. So she bought me a ticket. Thank God. It was like $170 that I paid to get the ticket. So now that I know I'm definitely going, I'm hyped. I'm sick. I'm loving it, right? Fast forward to the day. It is December 16th. I get a text message from the Inevitable chat saying 10 a.m. Irving Plaza, dollar tickets, 2014 dollar tickets, $1 in the Dream tickets, if you want to go to the concert the day of. It is directly across from my dorm, and I'm like, ain't no way. It's an hour before. I brush my teeth, and I go straight to Irving Plaza. By the time I get there, and I'm going to roll the clips, by the time I get there, what do I see, bro? I run around. It's the whole building. If it was a block, the whole building. So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I'm thinking I'm there early, and I live there. So I'm like, how did all these people get here that quick? I know all of them don't live in Manhattan like that. But I digress. J.Cole fans are J.Cole fans, and they be ready for it. So as soon as that happened, I'm like, all right, I'm walking around trying to figure out where I can get in. Then I see a guy that I know, Keelan. Shout out Keelan. He's there. Ultimately, I secured a ticket, still nosebleeds though, a ticket for $1 to go to J. Cole's Forest Hills Drive, 2014 Forest Hills Drive, one night only at MSG, and I secured a ticket for $1. In my mind, I'm going, okay, I'm definitely going to resell this ticket because I just bought my ticket beforehand for $170 when my girl got it. I bought it for $170. I'm like, all right, I'm going to sell this ticket and probably make a markup anyway to get like $400 ticket. And I'm like, I low-key want a real Cole fan to get this. Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm like, ultimately, like, I want somebody to feel what I'm feeling, even though we're in completely different sections. And I'm like, full circle moment. I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? Let me cut off the money in my mind because, like, $170 for a Cole ticket, I'd pay that any day. One. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not really worried about the money. And I made, like, $800 in Broadcom that day. Insane. Stock went up crazy. So I was like, let me call up my pops, because he's the one who put me on initially by just having it in his iTunes library. And thus, I went and called my dad once I got to the crib because it was mad cold. It was rainy. It was mad cold and whatever. I called him, and I'm like, Dad, would you be interested in going? He's like, do I have to pay? I'm like, nah. He's like, yeah, sure. So I'm like, all right, hop on the train. He hops on the train. Like, I spent a couple of hours just warming up and whatnot, listening to some more Cole. And he hops on the train. He gets there. We share a drink. And we go into, you know, we head into the concert. Wow. One night only, man. One night only. I'm at the concert. Craziest nosebleeds you could get. But I still have a direct view into seeing it.
Darkness is so right. I'm feeling like things gon' be alright. Turn the lights up so I can see everybody in the front top. What's up up top?
I heard about what?
You earned your Son of the Year award.
My dad bought my first KOD tickets, and now seeing that in concert was just beautiful. Seeing my favorite album from him in concert is just beautiful. And there's not too many like highlights or lowlights I could share. The concert was fire. I was enjoying myself. I didn't care that I was in nosebleeds. Like, I could have been anywhere in that venue and just happy to be there and seeing Cole in singing and performing this album. Like, that was just it by far. It felt like I was wrapping up my childhood. Like, really, like, it was like the icing on the cake. I'm graduating college, and the most college for hip-hop, I'm seeing him in concert, and he's performing the one album that shaped my college and my childhood years. So it was just beautiful, and to see my dad's reaction after the fact, like he was smiling ear to ear, called me the best son ever. Like he was just so happy that I shared this with him as well, and I was so happy that I made that decision to do so as well. Like it was beautiful. We didn't even sit together, but I knew that he was enjoying himself. Like he stopped texting me towards the end, like towards the beginning of the concert, because he was getting into it. We just shared a beautiful moment, and we didn't have to sit together to share that. And that's what a lot of Cole fans were feeling. So shout out to Eve, shout out to the team of Dreamville, shout out to any creative out there that's just trying to make something work and shake. Like these are the moments, and I'm glad that I was able to just be ultimately inspired and have that full circle moment for myself. Yeah. Saadiq Ranks, man, like and subscribe. I got videos coming out the way. If you haven't checked out the Harlem video, go check it out. That was a lot more academic. That was for a final for my class, but I wanted to share that with y'all because I worked hard on it. And I'm working hard on a lot more videos. We going crazy this year, like 2025. I'm so excited. I might even do a reflection video. I don't know. But I love y'all. Saadiq